We've been up, not up. Next.
Yeah. Hello, everybody. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Raw Truth Show. We here live with the Trade House. Um, you are gonna meet two amazing Afro American women into this trade game, and I would like you ladies to introduce yourselves, let the world know who you are, and let them know what Trade House is all about.
Yes, sir. Thank you for having us.
No problem.
For having us. Well, my name is Jazz, right, and I'm a part of Tradehouse Investment Group. And what we do as a collective is, we invest in the foreign exchange market. We teach individuals how to invest their money. And the beautiful thing about it is that, we're right with the modern times, with the modern technology. You know what I'm saying? We trade right off of our phones, right? So you're able to invest in this market right off the comfort of your own phone.
Right. Thank you for having us. My name's Aliyah Dorsett, and I'm a platinum leader within Tradehouse Investment Group. I've been in here for about 6, 7 months. It's honestly been a life changing experience. Like Jazz said, we're able to come in here and learn a skill, and also impact others with this specific skill.
Okay, so let's jump right into it because a lot of people would like to know some what is Trade House Investment Group? What is it?
So, Trade House Investment Group is, basically it was created about 2 years ago, within four black young African American men who were actually going to Morehouse College at the time, and they actually participated in this company that we are part of. 2 years ago, right? It was just those four young men, and they really didn't know how to trade, right? So they had to learn on their own, with the help of the company. However, as they, were impacting lives, with the skill, they came up with this group, right? And the group is called Trade House Investment Group. So all we are is just a like-minded individuals, right? We're coming together, to learn the skill, to make money, and also just, impact others. So, Trade House as a whole right now has about 30,000 individuals, and that's globally, right? So we're the fastest growing, investment group in the world right now. We have, teams out in Jamaica, Nigeria, all over the states. So it's a real big nonprofit organization, right? It's not just in New York or if you're in the Bronx. It's a global investment group.
Right,
Jazz, you want
right.
to add on?
Yeah, definitely. Like she said, it's the fastest growing investment group, and it's not even just an investment group. It's like a family. You know what I'm saying? It's a family atmosphere.
Right.
It's more than just talking about trades. It's about talking. It's about support. It's about spreading love. It's about spreading positivity. It's about wanting people that you may not even know to do good, to do well in life, to prosper, to be profitable in the markets. You know what I'm saying? It's a family. It's a family atmosphere, and we all have the same ultimate goal. It's to be financially free and just learn the skill and teach it to other people.
Okay. What type of mindset should you have to be a part of Trade House?
The first thing I would say, just having a open mind, right? A lot of the times, specifically, I'm growing the business, so there's two sides of the business, which we'll get into a little bit later. But just having the open mindset to be able to receive the information, right? That's first and foremost, right? And also just knowing that this is something that only 3% of the world knows, right? So, with that being said, I think the number one thing to start off is just having an open mindset to knowing what this is about, right? And also just having that, like that mental toughness, right? I played basketball for about 4 or 5 years in college, so I know what it is to really have that mental toughness, right? And it just stems from learning a skill and also building a team, right? That doesn't really come easy, right? It doesn't come easy, and it's also about like shifting your paradigm, right? Shifting the way you see things, right? Your perspective, right? So with those three things, I feel like anybody could come in and just dominate, right? Just move up in the company, right? So definitely having that positive mindset, open mindset, and just having that mental toughness.
Jazz.
Definitely. I would say, pretty much the same thing. I would say you definitely need a winning mindset. To capitalize on what Leah was saying before, Leah used to be a basketball player. I used to be a basketball player, and common thing with a lot of athletes is that they have to learn to have that winning mindset. When you look at the greats like Kobe Bryant and Michael Jordan, they're the prime examples. Even though it's a different field, it's the same winning mindset. It's the desire to be successful. It's the humility to be able to learn from those who have the results that you want, and the discipline to know, all right, this is what I need to do, right? This market, you know what I'm saying, it takes discipline, and we have a quote along Tradehouse where trading is 10% skill, it's 90% mindset, and it's true, right? Because if you're somebody who's impulsive, if you're somebody who's not disciplined, you know things aren't going to work out for you. But when you have that winning mindset, when you have that open mind, and you're willing to learn, and you're willing to discipline yourself, and just dedicate yourself to learning the skill, you will win. You will win 100% of the time. So I would say definitely a winning mindset.
So what's the name of your team, basically? Because I think in Trading House, every individual group is named something. Am I right?
Correct. So right now me and Jazz are part of Trade House 100 Summers, right? So that's just a subgroup, right? It's one of the best subgroups in Trade House. You know, so within, like you said, within Trade House, there's many groups, right? So we're actually under a young gentleman named Emron Ritchie, who he started this whole 100 summers movement back in the summer, right? And now he's a six-figure earner within the opportunity, right? So within Trade House, there's a lot of subgroups, but we are a part of 100 summers, which is now about almost 1,500 individuals within the group. So it's a large amount of people.
Right, and our team is like, you see a lot of different subgroups within Trade House. Maybe some are more marketing, some are more trading. 100 Summers, we're like the perfect balance of both, and there's constant education just being given to us as a group, whether it's new family or whether it's people like me and Aaliyah who've been here for a couple months. There's always constant education within within 100 Summers. So definitely one of the best groups out here.
Okay. How do people get trained?
Um, well, as far as this our schedule in Trade House, specifically like the launch pad, which is one of the groups we're part of, right? We do have training daily, right? So we have a specific schedule, and it's a constant schedule that stays the same, right? So on Sundays we have 9 p.m. basics, right? And the basics is just going over how to use the app that we make money from, right? MT4 app, right? Anybody could download the app, but a lot of people won't even know how to navigate it, right? On Mondays, right, we have trading plan, right? So in order to be able to trade effectively and also be profitable, you have to have a specific trading plan that you're following, right? So something that I loved coming in here was I was able to follow a plan, right, and to become profitable right away, right? So on Wednesdays, no, actually on Tuesdays, we have team building, right? So today, at 9 p.m., we're gonna actually have a team building, and what a team building is just being able to have these certain steps in order to effectively grow your team, right? So everybody in here, most people are taking both sides, taking on both sides of the opportunity, right? So you need to know how to build a team, right? You need to know how to become a leader, right? You need to know how to, set the example, right? And what are the things you need to do day in and day out, right, to reach the pinnacle of success that you want in the company, right? So on Thursdays, on Wednesday, I'm sorry, we have products, right? So as far as, I Am Academy goes, we have access to a ton of products, right? A ton of products. And I'm going to actually hand it over to Jazz so she can finish the schedule.
Okay, go ahead, Jess.
Yeah. Right, and it's like, said, Wednesday we do products, and within IM Academy, there are so many products that they keep us profitable as traders. My favorites are the harmonic scanner and Gold Cup. The harmonic scanner, if you guys don't know, it's $1 million tool. It's the same tool that the banks use to invest our money in the banks, for their own profit. So we're here to just learn how to do the same, right? And the education is like Aaliyah said, we have a set schedule, but and it's this opportunity is for everybody who's of all walks of life. So whether you're in school, whether you work, you're freelance, you're in the military, I understand, maybe 9 p.m. some nights they aren't, convenient for you, or you can't make it, or you have this, you have that. There's always constant trainings going on. Like these are just, the set schedules, these are every day, but there are always other, calls, other trainings to make sure that new family, old family, whatever the case may be, they all know the basics. They all know how to, they all know the trading plan. They all know risk management, and that's where, the discipline comes into play. You have to, the opportunity is there, the education is there, and it's up to you to just capitalize on it, right? And it's up to you to make sure you educate yourself about how to manage your money in this market and how to grow your team. And it's like Aaliyah said, how to make sure you set yourself up for success, and not only for yourself, obviously, but for your team as well, making sure that they're successful.
Okay. If anyone has a question for Tradehouse, please give us a call at 914-357-5551. So, are you also doing stocks?
Me personally, no. I don't trade stocks. I don't.
No, I don't. I don't either. I was actually talking to somebody the other day who he was telling me that he's into stocks, and he was telling me I should get into it, just because of what's going on in the economy right now. But that hasn't been something I really dived into yet. But definitely in the near future, I'm looking into investing into certain stocks for sure.
Right, definitely. For now, me personally, I stick with my forex pairs. Stocks, especially like in a time like this, stocks are they're very unpredictable, very very unpredictable. Right. So I know a lot of people, with things that are going on now, they probably lost a lot of money because a lot of stocks plummeted. So the good thing about forex is that it doesn't, the economy, it rarely impacts it. You know what I'm saying?
Right. So this here is a totally different thing from stocks. The trade house.
Definitely. Completely different.
So get some in depth of exactly what it is.
So what it is the forex market. What we do is we trade all of the world's currencies. So for anybody who's traveled outside of the country, you would know more oftentimes than not you need to exchange currencies because the US dollar doesn't work in other countries. So when you go to the booth in the airport or whatever the case may be and you exchange your currencies, there's going to be a price of exchange. Now that price of exchange is always and constantly fluctuating throughout the day. Now the way that we trade is we have the education and we're able to read charts and we're able to understand indicators, so that way we can then make like an accurate prediction as to where that price is going to go. And as the price goes up and down, it's kind of like placing an educated bet, right? So if I'm anticipating that this currency pair is going to go up, I'm going to place a trade to buy it. And then as I buy it, that is how I make my profits. When that rate of exchange fluctuates, that's how we make our profit.
Okay,
Right.
gotcha.
And just to tag along to that, we do trade indices, right? Like the US 30, what else? NAS 100, gold,
US oil,
right? So
another one.
oil. So there's other crypto pairs that Bitcoin.
Bitcoin.
So it's not only just foreign exchange pairs, but we do get in a little bit into the cryptos and the indices.
Okay, so y'all into oil now, huh? Y'all gonna be wearing turbans soon, huh? Let me find out.
Oil's been blessing us, to be honest.
Right.
Nice.
Look, oil. I don't know if you've seen the gas prices, but everything's cheap. I know out by me, gas is like $1.75. So when oil plummeted, there was a lot of people within the organization that made a lot of money off of that plummet.
Oh, so y'all made a lot of money off of that, huh? Yeah, that sounds good. That's good to know. Yes, Aaliyah, when I need some sponsorship, I know who to go to. Jazz and Aaliyah.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
I got you. I got you.
Absolutely, absolutely.
So, what currency forced are you focused on now?
Me personally, I love my GBP pairs.
Mm, okay.
I love them. GBP, that means the Great British Pound. The Great British Pound in Forex, that's probably one of the most volatile pairs, meaning that when it moves very drastically. But the more you get used to, reading the charts and, just knowing how it moves, you'll be able to, predict it. And it gives you some good movement. I like it a lot.
Mm. I mean, I like the GBP pairs and also, gold, right? I feel like gold is very volatile, but anybody can kind of trade gold with any amount, of money that they do have in their account. So that's why I like gold. And when it's going the way we want it to go, it really blesses us. Really, it really does. So I would say gold.
And one thing about gold in today's time is that we're seeing a lot of movement because gold is one of those things where if you watch the news can heavily impact it, and that goes for most forex pairs. If something happens in the news, you're gonna see some movement. But one thing about gold is almost every time the president gets up and speaks in front of the whole country, gold is gonna move, and depending on what he has to say, whether it's positive or negative, you're gonna see that movement within gold. You're gonna see a lot, over like the next couple hours after he speaks. So that's one thing I really like about gold.
Yeah, well, I hope you don't like when he's talking because when he's talking, I know you're losing.
Yeah, nah.
That's a fact. That is a fact.
That's a fact.
That's a fact.
They like, nah, I don't want to. Listen, I don't want nothing to do with gold if he's talking. Nothing.
I want everything to do with gold when he's talking. Over
I hear
everything.
you. I hear you. That's good to know. Do you ladies watch the local and international news on the market?
Yes,
Mhm.
yes.
It's
And,
a must.
man,
This
what do you?
week is actually it's NFP week, which means non-farm profit. This is the first week of the month is usually when each respective country comes out with new unemployment news or just different things of that nature. Just world like countrywide news, and that news when it comes out, it usually shifts the market around a lot. So this week in particular, traders, we need to be we're a little bit more diligent these days.
Mhm. Right. I
Okay.
would say we watch the news, every time we're about to trade, right? There's an actual website that we'll go on called forexfactory.com, right? And, we'll just check what's going on, whether, Trump is about to talk or, which specific, currency pair may have a red folder, right? So the red folder is high impact, right? So we'll stay away from that particular, currency pair, just so we don't, get into anything that we're going to lose a drastic amount of money. So for the most part, we're watching what's going on in the news on a daily.
Right. So, how much does it cost to get started with the company?
235, 235 enrollment, right? And what you get with the enrollment is you get access to everything that we talk about. You get access to my favorite thing is to mention is definitely the harmonic scanner because that's your bread and butter. Honestly, I think that's your bread and butter. You get access to top educators. You get access to master traders and their live trading sessions. I know me and Aliyah were on live trading sessions this morning, right? And with that, not only are you learning good trading habits and what to look for from these educators, but they're actually sharing their trades with you. So any trades that they get into, they will send you that signal, right? And that's what you receive. You receive signals all throughout the day. You have access to the education. You have access to the platform. You have access to the harmonic scanner, and that's what comes with the enrollment fee.
Mhm. And just to add on to that, a lot of people think when I speak to a couple people, I feel like people think 235 is like really a large amount of money, right? And for, for some people it may be a lot, but just the value and, how much this company is worth, right? Because the company is a multi-million-dollar company, right? And they're only asking for 235 as far as their enrollment fee. I think it's pretty cheap, right? I did research where, people are, learning how to trade for thousands of dollars, right? They have these programs where you have to put up about $3,000 before you even get to earn any type of money, right? So I feel like, I Am Mastery Academy is, really giving away, just this platform, right? Like she said, like Jazz said, we have access to master traders, right? Individuals, people that are 6 and 7 figure earners and have been, in the markets, trading within the markets for years and years and years, right? We have access to them, right? And we also, recently they set a contract with, Bob Proctor, right? I don't know if you know who Bob Proctor is, but he's a mindset coach, right? So, we have access to him and his broadcasters, right? So we have so much access to a lot of things that, people overlook it because they feel like 235 is just not, not sufficient for them, right? So I always tell people, like, learn what I'm Mastery Academy has before, you kind of just brush the opportunity over, right? I can honestly say 235 has changed my life, right? And that's just not in, money wise, right? A lot of people think it's about money. For sure, we're here to make money, but also just the mindset, right? I could look back, during my college days, where my mindset was, and to now, it's the total different thing, right? I'm thinking of, properties, right? Owning properties, moving into, a nice apartment. I'm just thinking about, things that I was never thinking about before. So, and it's all because of this opportunity, right? So I'm grateful for, I Am Mastery Academy, and as well as just Tradehouse Investment Group, right? A lot of people think that, we do this for money, right? And we're basically, our efforts are being rewarded, right? So Tradehouse Investment Group, we don't get paid for, the trainings that we do on a daily. We don't get paid for, the events that we go on, right? We go to we do tours, we do all types of things, right? And we don't really get paid for that. And sometimes, it takes a while, not a while, but it takes some time to get to the point where you're actually being rewarded, right? So you're kind of getting underpaid for a lot of these things that we're doing, but eventually, it catches up, right? It catches up. I know, the creators of Trade House right now, they're millionaires, right? And they're 22, 23 right now. They're actually millionaires, right? But they put in so much years of work, 2 years of work to reap the benefits of it, right? So, I would, my main thing is just is impact over money for us. It's impact over money. So,
And just one more thing, to add to what she was saying. 235, you get access to these master traders, and one thing I just want people to know is that you don't have to be a master trader. I know, like, a lot of feedback that I get is that it looks like too much work, it's too hard, it's not my thing. We're not here to be master traders, because it takes years to be a master trader. The golden rule, it takes 10,000 hours for mastery. And we understand that we're all young. We want to do what we want to do, whether it's build a business or whether you have your own respective dreams, right? This is just a vehicle to get where you want to go, right? So you tune into these lives, you get on the trading sessions. I'm not a master trader. Aliyah is not a master trader, but are we profitable traders? Yes. And it's because of the products. It's because of our mentors. It's because of our education that we have access to on the daily, that we tap into on the daily. So it's that consistency. And definitely, I agree with Aliyah. The 235, it changed my life. Just knowing that, contrary to popular belief, you don't need to work for money. You don't need to sell your time for money. There are other ways that you can attract money and you can manifest whatever wealth that you want to attain. It just requires consistency. It requires discipline, and it requires a shift in your paradigm. It requires a shift in mindset. So once you start, thinking differently, and just being consistent, being disciplined with what you want, it's up to God at that point. And just got to keep working, got to keep being consistent, and that's one thing that 235 really taught me.
Right.
Okay, so basically, can you? So a lot of people would love to know. Um, so can I start with 235, and can I leave my full time job right now, or does that take time?
Well, with anything, it does take time, right? So, with coming in the opportunity, there are some things that you need to know, right? You need to know, trading takes time, right? Even though you are able to book, come in right away and see profit, right? But as far as taking that leap of faith and leaving your job, right? It all comes down to your efforts, right? So specifically, I know somebody within my specific team. Within 4 months, she was able to leave her job, right? And that's because she took part in the second opportunity, right? Which is basically, you get rewarded for impacting somebody else's life, right? So there's different rank achievements that you do go through that allow you to now just rely on that, right? Just to now say, I'm going to leave my job, and I'm going to focus specifically on my own business and also trading, right? So it does take time, right? And I can never tell anybody, you can do it in a month or you can do it in 2 months, right? With everybody, it all depends on your drive, right? Your motivation to get it done, right? There's people that do it in 2 months, but then there's people that do it in 7 months, right? So it all depends on that specific person and how much they just tap into the company, right? So a lot of people that quit their jobs, they took that leap of faith, right? So it, like I said, it all depends on you, right? And how you want to go, and if you feel like this is something you want to take on full time, right? I was just on a training the other day, and Chairman 25, which is one of the rankings that we do have in the compensation plan, he was saying that 90% of this is your life, right? 90%, legit 90% of your life is revolved around the business, right? And some people are not willing to actually sacrifice that time, right? And we're all young. We all want to do things. We all, like Jazz says, we want to do our own thing, and we want these big things, but it really comes down to sacrifice, right? It really comes down to sacrifice. And I didn't truly understand that until halfway through my experience. And now I've really tapped into this opportunity because I see others having the result that I want, right? My mentor is somebody that brought me into the opportunity. Last week he moved into a penthouse, right? He in Atlanta, right? So that's a result of a result, right? He was able to tap in. He left his accountant job, earlier this year, and now he's in this company full time and actually being able to now own his own place, right? So things like that, they do take time, but it's all depending on how you move and how serious you take this, right? If you come in 100% running and ready to just take over the company, by all means, in 2 and 3 months, now you're able just to do this full time, right? So it all depends on the specific person that's coming in.
Definitely. And then when it comes to trading, can you leave your job? Yes. And the reason I say that, and it's just to capitalize off what Aaliyah was saying, it all comes down to how much you tap into your resources, how much you tap into the opportunity. Because when I was brought into this, one of my good friends, he gave me an example, right? When you buy a gym membership, just because you're paying for that monthly gym membership doesn't mean that the six pack comes with it. No, like just because you pay, right?
Yeah,
Just
yeah, I
because
wish.
you pay that $50 enrollment, that don't mean that you're gonna lose 20 pounds just like that, just because you have the membership, right? You have to put that work in. You're paying for the platform to exercise and get healthy. You're paying for the resources, the weights, the treadmill. You're paying for all of that, right? But the results are gonna come once you use those resources. So if I'm in the gym every day, right, for 2 hours a day consistently, a month later I'm gonna see my results. But if I sign up for a gym and I just when I feel like it, I'm not gonna really see the results that I want. And then boom, I'm gonna say, oh, this gym stuff doesn't work. I don't work because I'm not going every day, right? And to get to the point where you could quit your job, it's literally it depends. It depends on you and how much you plug into this opportunity. I'm gonna like me myself. I was a profitable trader, before all this stuff went down. But all this stuff went down. I was still working. I was still working. Once this stuff happened, I was out of a job. And my job, they didn't give me no hours. They didn't want to give me no, paid leave, no, vacation time, none of that. I was on my own, right? So once that happened, I'm like, you know what? I have this $1 trillion market right here on my phone. I'm good. Now when they call me talking about, oh, like we should be back out in 3 weeks, we should be back up and running. You know what? I'm done. I don't need it because I'm used to it now where money is just a tool. Money is, what I'm saying? I don't need to work for this right here because I have that skill set. I have that education. I have that mindset that, I can manifest anything. As long as I put this work in, I don't need to clock in for you. I don't need to, report to this one, to that one. I could do this on my own. I could work. I could show other people that, there's more than just paycheck to paycheck to paycheck. There's more than just, oh, this salary, or I make $20 an hour, or I need to get this over. More than that,
Right.
it's a lot more than that.
And
Right.
also, just a quick gem. They I don't know if you read, Rich Dad Poor Dad, right? He says work to learn, right? So we stress now that the educational part so much because that's what's gonna allow you, to be able to leave your job, right? To be able to just to rely on this, right? So we basically work to learn, right? We're working to learn, right? A lot of people, work for money or whatever the case may be, but we're here to learn, and that's gonna give you the results you want ultimately.
Right. It's just your dedication and just how serious you take it. I know I got like 20 something alarms for all the trainings, all the live sessions,
Yeah.
Right.
just keeping my eyes on certain currency pairs, it's because that's my life now. That's my life. That's how I make my money. That's how I take care of my bills now. So
Oh, so
it really
Trade House is
it
taking care
really
of your
lifestyle.
bills. That's what's.
Yep. Yep.
So when they
For
call you
sure.
and say, "Listen, we got 40 hours for you," you're gonna be like, "What?"
I'm gonna say no. I'm gonna
Okay.
say no. I'll
Aaliyah, are
probably
you
say
working right now? Are you a
No,
essential worker?
I'm actually doing this for full time. I started doing this full time. I think a little before the pandemic happened. I specifically was going like in and out of jobs, which that wasn't something that I like. I wasn't getting what I wanted. And I just once I tapped into this in October, it was just kind of like from there. I was just like, you know what, I'm just gonna, use this as a vehicle to get me from A to B, right? So, my parents respect it, my family, respect it. So, I'm here for the long run, for the most part.
right.
Okay. So you ladies are definitely doing this full time,
Definitely.
pedal to the metal, all forward, everything go.
Right.
Absolutely.
So
Right. And
now
this market is not going nowhere because we all know money makes the world go round.
you
So
ain't
as long as
lying.
there's money in the world, there will be this forex market. So I'll be in
Wow.
this
That's
Yes,
you.
sir.
for a minute.
You ain't lying. If you don't mind me asking,
Mm.
you don't have to answer it. It's fine. What's the biggest payoff you had doing your trade?
Mm. Mm.
And give me like a time frame.
I'm all right. Let's do a time frame. Within 8 hours of you sitting there monitoring your movement, I guess because you do monitor it, right? I don't know.
Uh,
I really
good,
don't
yeah.
know how it really works, but I'm just saying within 8 hours, say.
Right. Um. To answer that question, I think a lot of people think we sit and trade for 8 hours, which is really not the case, right?
Okay.
Um, so, for example, there's sessions in the market, right? So we will have like London session, which goes from like 3 to about 12 p.m., right? There's New York session, which is like 8 to 5, right? They have Tokyo. And do they? Is it Sydney?
Yeah, Sydney.
Sydney, right? So those are the 4 specific times you can trade, and it's just a session, right? So I feel like a lot of people think that this is something you got to come in and trade 8 hours a day, right? So what I like to do is I like New York session, right? I like to wake up in the morning and be able to trade from about maybe 8 to.
Oh, they'll be right back in. Log back in, ladies. Um, soon as we get them back up. But Trade House is the show today on the Raw Truth show. You can call in 914 357 5551. You can call in and ask these ladies any question you would like about Trade House. Also, we it's a Tradehouse Investment Group, and they deal with the Forex market. If people don't know what the Forex market is, it's currency. We waiting on Aliyah to jump back on.
Coming right back.
But 914-357-5551. You can call in and ask any questions you would like. Don't hesitate. Jazz has officially said forget her 9 to 5, and this is her 9 to 5.
This is my 9 to 5. Yup. And while we, oh, she's back.
Yeah.
While we wait on Aliyah, just to answer your question from my perspective, I would say the most profits I've ever made in an 8-hour time frame, I would say about $1,200. And
Nice.
she was talking about trading sessions. My favorite probably the London session, 2 a.m. It's from 2 a.m. to 10 a.m. That's a good 8 hours. So I have one of my alarms set for 3 a.m. And from then, I'm trading. I'm on my live sessions. I'm looking at my currency pairs, and what I like about it is that London session it overlaps into the beginning of New York session, so I get like a lot of movement. So that was probably one of the biggest factors when it came to like my biggest trading day. It's just I was on a roll. I had a good day. I was on a roll.
Just to finish what I was saying. One of the sessions, I kind of within like an hour, I made like $140 just to throw an amount out there. That was like last week, and that was from like I got on the session about 10 o'clock, right? And I made about $140, and that was just from a live session, right? So that wasn't something where I had to mark up a chart or I had to call out the specific trade. That was specifically just from the master trader calling signals, right? And that was probably within an hour or less than an hour that
wow.
I made that. So for a lot of people, they feel as though you need to make $1,000, a day, right? And it's really not about that. It's being able to make $1 for $1,000 for 1,000 days, right? That's the whole point of it, being able to multiply your money, right? It's not a get rich quick scheme, right? But it is a faster way to get rich, right? And if you can make some type of profit each day, right? I feel as though that's an incredible thing, because where are you doing that else at? Where are you able to now each day hop on a live session and make you some money and multiply your money, right? Just when I first started, I started with $50, just to be real transparent, right? Because I wanted to know, like, is this gonna work for me, right? Am I able to make money, right? And I wasn't looking for a specific amount, right? I was just, I wanted to test the waters, right? So I plugged in, I tuned in, and I made 50 to 70 within the first trade that I plugged in. And I have it on my Instagram. I tell this testimony all the time because I felt like I had $1,000 day that day, just because I made $20, right? And we always want everybody coming in to have that experience, right? We always say, I don't care if it was $10, right? That's $10 you never had, right? You can go buy breakfast with that, right? So with that $20, I withdrew it, and I bought something just so I knew it was real, right? So, I tell people my first hour trading could be, greater than could your trading first hour could be way more better than mine, right? So it all depends on, that specific day, how much money you fund up, right? All of that comes into play when you're talking about trading, right? So I always say, don't look at somebody else's pockets, because what works for me may not work for you, right? You may need $500 a week, right? Or somebody else may need, just $150 a week, and they're good, they're happy. This opportunity is worthwhile for them, right? So I always tell people, make trading work for you. Make it work for you, because if you're trying to make it work for somebody else, or you're trying to watch somebody else's pockets, how is that going to work for you? So you just got to really make it work for you, and come in and have a set plan. Like, I ask people before they join, like, how much do you see yourself making, or how much do you need to make for this to be worth your time, right? You need to ask people that, because somebody had told me, yo, if I make $10 a day, I'm good. This is worth my while. She was in college, right? So $10 added up each day for her. But some people like to downgrade. Oh, it's just $10. But you didn't make $10 off your phone. You didn't make $20 off your phone,
Off
right?
your
So
phone.
it's just all
There
about
you go.
perspective. Yeah, it's all about perspective, and the way you view things, right? We're not here to make $1,000 a day, right? Which would be great, lovely, right? But I will never sit here and tell somebody, you know what, you can make $1,000 a day, because that's a scam. You know what I'm saying? That's when the misconception of, this is a scam, and this is that, and this is that. I tell people the truth. I tell people the truth. I funded up $50 when I came in. You know what I'm saying? People respect that, because now they see where, I know if I could, make 50 into 70, it's inevitable that I can make 50 into 500. It's just a matter of time, right? And a matter of being able to learn the skill. Why would I ever tell somebody, I'm going to make sure you get $500 this week? I would never tell anybody. It's a skill you have to learn. You have to put in time, just like anything else, right? Like, I played basketball. We played sports, right? I can't say I'm going to come out and score 40 if I didn't even get on the court and shoot for a whole week or a whole month. There's like no way. It's no way. So it works. The same thing applies with trading, right? The same thing applies. So that's just my, ultimate deal on how I speak to people. I tell them what's real, you know?
Right. And definitely just to capitalize what she was saying before, I also, when I started, I funded up $50, because like everyone else, I was a little skeptical. I'm like, all right, let me see what I could do with this $50. That very first night I plugged in 2 trades, and I made $12. I woke up the next morning, I made $12, and I was so happy, so happy,
nice.
And at the same time, I was mad. Oh my God, I was so mad, because if I had known of this opportunity when I was in college, it would have changed my life. Right. I was a broke college kid starving. $12. I don't feed me for the week in college. Like,
right.
So it's just like, and like she said, a lot of people, they try to downplay the, you made $12, you made $10. That's little change that you didn't have before. That's change that'll make a difference in, in your life. Like, you, especially, these young college kids, or, even if you a grown adult, $12 will pay for your lunch tomorrow. With $12, that'll put some gas in your tank. Prices is cheap now, so that, it might fill up half of your tank. And just little wins like that, it helps, and especially compound it, and you be able to see your money is growing, just by your efforts. And, half the time, in these live sessions, people don't even get out of their bed.
Oh, wow.
I know, I was transparent. People don't even be getting up out of their bed, and they're on live sessions making money. And it really is just how much that you want to tap into this opportunity. How serious do you take it? Do you make it your mission? Do you make it your goal for the day to get on this training, to get on this live session? And if you do, you're going to see those results in your trading account, whether it's $5, $500, $5,000, whatever the case may be. Everybody's different.
Right. And just to add to that, some of the leaders that are, you're higher up than on the compensation plan right now, they'll tell you their story, right? I know the four young men who started this always tell their story about how they started. They went to go borrow, I believe, like $10, so that way they could put it in the foreign exchange market and get $20 out, right? So everybody has a start. And also, what Christopher Terry, the CEO of this company, he's actually from the Bronx. His whole objective of this company was to allow individuals to come in, because most of us don't have $3,000 to fund up. We don't, right? So his whole objective was to allow this compensation plan to help other people be able to fund up their account, right? So if you're making $1,000 a month, right, from this opportunity right now, he's saying, okay, you can put some of that into your trading account and multiply it, right? So that was his whole objective, right? And when people say, oh, you're trying to recruit and you're trying to do this, you're trying to get people, but you got to understand, like, that is what marketing is. And also it's an opportunity for you to now be able to fund up the way you want, right? To be able to get that $1,000 a week, right? Because honestly, truthfully, what you put in is really gonna what you put out, what you get out of it. So I love the idea of this company, and I feel like there's no other company like this that's giving you an opportunity to make money on the spot, and then also now potentially, right, literally change your whole life, right? Your whole entire way that you live, right? So for me, I'm taking part in both opportunities, right? And it's just my responsibility to just spread this information, right, and allow people to see it in a different light, right? So that's just my objective, like just allowing people to see this from a different light, and also just open up your minds to what's going on. Because I promise you, maybe in the next year, right, this is just gonna really blow up, right? Tradehouse is gonna have a whole documentary, right? Tradehouse is creating millionaires right now, and that's just facts on facts, right? We can look that up, right? So I don't think I would have been able to even think of becoming a millionaire or striving to become one at a job or sitting at a desk, right? Right. So it's just all about perspective, right? It's all about perspective, and I'm grateful to be here, and I make it my responsibility, and I take it very, very serious, just to spread this information.
Right, and I like how you mentioned the use of the word recruitment, because this opportunity is so much more than just recruiting. It's so much more than marketing, because there's so much value in it. I could recruit whoever, and just for whatever the case, but is it really benefiting that other person? Yes, it is, because there's no greater feeling than being able to show somebody, listen, there's more than just that 40-hour week. You could be making another source of income, right? I know, like my brother for example is 16 years old. There's nothing more satisfying than watching my brother make a $5 profit.
Are you serious? He's down with the trade house?
I'm so sick.
Oh man.
So sick. And the hunger in this kid, like it makes me want to go harder. It makes me feel like, you know what, I'm not doing enough. I'm gonna better educate myself, so that way not only I can put him in a better position, but I could put other people in a better position. Because right now he's 16. If I would have known about this when I was 16, oh my God, I would be rich by now. Like I would, like, but it's that type of thing. But it's also convenient for them, because this is the new generation. This is the generation that lives on their phone. Like, they're masters of technology.
Right.
It's like, when you go out, when you go to clubs and you see people our age, and they're always on Snap, they're always on Instagram, they're always on their phone doing something. To be able to introduce the fact that you could be making money off this phone as well, and just watching it, change people's lives for the better. There's no greater satisfaction than that, really. Like, just knowing that you're changing these people's lives for the better.
So yeah, forget Snapchat now. Then shoot, we gonna go straight to the trade house, man. I'll be on my phone trading while I'm in the spot.
Right, you could take your snaps in the meantime too. You could take your snaps in the meantime.
I hear you. Ladies, I want to thank y'all for coming on the Raw Truth Show. You want anybody to know anything, how they can get in touch with you, how they can be a part of Trade House and part of your team, please go ahead and let them know.
Um, I'm on Instagram a lot, so I'm gonna give you guys my Instagram. So it's at Live Long Dreams, right? And you can shoot me a DM, and tell me, let me know if you're interested or not. You want to hear more information. So my Instagram is at Live Long Dreams.
Right. I'm also on Instagram. My Instagram at name is __ my name is Jazz. I'm on Twitter as well at Jasmine Sap. I'm gonna definitely drop it in the comments. But yeah, definitely, if you're interested or have any more questions about this opportunity or about trading itself, I would love to help you guys out. I got some good gems for y'all, so definitely hit me up.
Okay. And like I said, I want to thank you ladies for being on the Raw Truth Show. You
Thank
can
you so
listen
much.
to
Thank
this.
you so much.
You're
So
welcome. You can see this. You can listen to this show on Kubi TV YouTube channel. It's COOBIE TV YouTube channel. You can listen to that. Subscribe and like and comment and whatever you
Definitely.
comment about or ask about. If I need to reach out to the ladies, I'll definitely reach out to them and let them know who they can hit and who they can see. Thank you very much, ladies. And
thank
y'all,
you once again.
y'all
Thank
keep
you.
going out there trading. All right, now I'm gonna keep y'all on that back pocket. Now, don't you worry. Once I see one Snapchat or one Instagram page with a Bentley out there, you already know. You
I
know.
got you. I got you.
Yeah, definitely, we got you. We got you.
I got you.
All right. Thank you and God bless.
Thank
Stay
you.
safe out there,
Thank
y'all.
you. All right.
Yes, that was the Raw Truth Show. You hear live on the Raw Truth Show with Kubi TV. You can check out my channel on Kubi TV YouTube channel. You can listen to everything on there. Thank you. And till tomorrow. Check out the show tomorrow.
Mama told me not to sell word. Mama 17, 5, same color t-shirt. White. Mama told me not to